Hello and welcome back. Or welcome if you're a first timer. I'm Knight's Angel, and we are back building our sleeves. Well, as I said in the last one, I was going to start attaching some of our smaller pieces together. And the reason why this actually gets tricky is because the pieces will become a little bit cumbersome. So for right now, we are just going to be attaching a couple of pieces together so we can get ready to move on. And here we go. Okay, that's not supposed to be happening. There we go. Sorry, the material was actually starting to pull out. Pull over the boot. So, I had to fix that real quick. And 10 to 1, I probably actually did put this in backwards, so. But we're going to find out. I'm going to have a little bit of slack on this one. So. Actually, I think I got it right this time. We're just going to run this one right off of the edge. There we go. Ta-da! Yeah. Well, to be completely frank and honest, I at least proved one thing. I got it completely backwards this time. Alright. I'll be right back. I gotta fix this. So, hang on. Alrighty. Sorry about that. Let's try that again. This time. While paying attention. Alright. And I know exactly what I did wrong. I had the right idea, I just went the wrong way of doing it. So, I am going to go ahead and correct that. Right now. Okay, so I need this side, this side. Sorry. Okay. Right. I need the two sides to be facing opposite of each other. Okay, there we go. To make the interior, they have to be facing away from each other. Okay, so there we go. Just get that lined up real quick. And let's try this again. Hopefully this time I won't screw it up. Once again, leaving a little bit of a gap at the end. Lining it up as close to the tip as we can. Making sure making sure we're all lined up. Nice and pretty like. There we go. And here we go. A good way of keeping your alignment is to edge it. Especially if you're on a turning piece, angle it a little bit, but as you go into the feed, you straighten it out. Especially if you're working on a curve. So that's going to be the hard part. Because this thing does not work on a curve. You have to adjust the curve. Make sure, yeah. This is lining up nicely. So. And it is fraying everywhere. So I have to be very cautious with that. And to be completely honest, if I actually knew how to do it, I would actually scorn the ends, the edge for this. And pretty much that's just, you lightly burn the end of it, melt the fabric a little bit, and it'll seal off the ends. I don't know how to do that, so I'm not going to. And we are going to see how well this lines up, and whether or not I actually made another mistake. And it looks like I will have a little... That is what we want. Especially with the way we have it set up, that is what we're looking for. So, yeah, I accidentally nicked that part, so I'm gonna, but that's gonna be in this seam. So, Let's get closer down and I'll show you what I'm doing. Okay. Now, what we're going to try to do is we're going to try and meet them up back at the start point and then back it out. We're going to come right over the seam for a second and then back it out. So, let's see how this works. And voila. And what that leaves us to do is we can actually now run the seam as we need it up here. As soon as, so we can actually go ahead and run this seam real quick. Well, we're going to wait because there's one more thing I have to do before getting into that. And that's where this gets complicated. As if you're wondering why it's shaped like this, why it's shaped the way I have it, that is because I am going to close this edge seam right here. With one of these set inside this little corner piece. Now, I also have to keep in mind which end is up, which is part of the way I have it set up. Is, and I don't think you can, I think it's actually, yeah, it's not on here, but the way I have it set up, the wider piece is our top, where the shorter piece in the middle is the middle, or the underside of the arm. So as long as I have the top, as long as I have the sleeve over here with one going for the front, one going for the back, with the top, I gotta flatten this thing out. Fold it over. So now I know which one is, so now I know which one's the upright. And since this is going to end up being completely inverted and folded backwards, what I need to do is line up, and this is what's going to make it a little bit easier, is because I know how it's going to get folded. I just invert it and set it where I want it. And since we're going from the middle out, we're actually going to put it in our machine from the middle point. So just be careful doing this so you don't get yourself confused. and you're going to run it all the way to the end. So keep that in mind. Here we go. And there you go. That way, once you actually invert it, yeah, I have thread everywhere. Once you invert it, it'll end up looking like that. So, let's go ahead and get the other one and do the same thing. Now, just make sure that you have them set properly so you don't lose your alignment. You want to try and make sure you get your band in this little corner here. Because that will actually pull it out. That'll actually hold it in place. And it kind of gives it a nice little decoration. So. And once again, we're going all the way to the end. And I'm going to do that real quick and we'll move on. And for those of you that are learning how to sew, a good little trick to get yourself used to it, so you can actually do things like that, is just take two pieces of material. They can be the same kind or different. Don't make a difference. You just take it and you run it through the machine and practice turns. Just practice turning it around over and over again. So, I'm going to go ahead and close this out here because we only have two things left to do, and that's attaching, and that's pretty much, we only have one thing left to do, and that's attaching this setup to this sleeve. And that's going to be a pain. So we're going to save that for the next one. And depending on how long it takes me, maybe the one after. So until then, push all the buttons as you so desire, in any order you desire. Of course, only a couple of them you can really do in a certain order, but that's a different matter. Leave your thoughts, comments, ideas, insults, what have you, down in the comment section below the description. And as always, I am Knights Angel. Knights Angel. Thank you for joining me. Hope to see you again soon. But until then, I hope you have a better day. Peace.